Eritrea has achieved the Millennium Development Goals with great success and received worldwide acclaim. What has so far been accomplished is incomparable with many African countries. Parallel to this, Eritrea has assured its commitment in the realization of pharmacovigilance and risk management. For instance, the number of reports it continues to send to the WHO has ranked the country second from African countries. The comprehensiveness of the report makes Eritrea stand first among all African nations.
The Eritrean Pharmacovigilance Center was established in 2003. But somehow, due to different reasons, the Pharmacovigilance Center was not functional till 2011. But in 2012, the ministry has took the initiative to revitalize the pharmacovigilance system we have, so as to monitor the safety of our products and the safety of our patients. And then in 2012, we have revitalized our pharmacovigilance system, and we admitted as full member country to the WHO program in April 2012. Even though we started late, but I think we are moving fast. At this time, we are one of the top 3 African countries in pharmacovigilance. I mean, there are very strong countries like Morocco, South Africa, but I think we are reporting. Our reports are very complete. We are sending complete reports that help the international drug monitoring to generate safety signals, and also our center as well.
To strengthen its commitment and to share regional and international experience, Eritrea conducted an East African advanced course on pharmacovigilance and risk management from 10 to 17 April 2016, which is the first of its kind in Africa, under the theme Safe Drugs and Vaccines to Market by Analyzing Latest Developments in Pharmacovigilance, Drug Safety and Risk Management Strategies in East Africa.
Pharmacovigilance is still a fairly new phenomenon in Africa, although some countries have been operating in the field for some time, others are just recently coming to this area of specialism. But if you think about it, a medicine can take up to 10 years to reach the market. It goes through strict clinical trials, research, development, assessment that it's going to be safe to get out onto the market. Once it does reach the market, it's important then to continue surveillance and vigilance, to spot any problems with the medicine that may have been unforeseen or did not appear in any of those clinical trials. Clinical trials may be restricted to thousands of people. When the medicine reaches the market, it reaches millions of people. And it's then easier, still complex, but easier to pick up the signals that are created if there is a problem.
Africa is really struggling with to achieve patient safety. And as we have as we have no proper regulatory systems, or as we have no robust pharmacovigilance systems or regulatory authorities, there are products in the African market which are probably be fake, counterfeit, substandard or spurious. And also our aim in pharmacovigilance is to ensure that patients took this medications or vaccines in a safe way, and to ensure that medicines are safe during their life in the market. So, as the pharmacovigilance system in East Africa, specifically and in general in the African region, is very weak, our aim to organize this course is to strengthen the system we have in Africa, so as to identify drug-related potential risks as soon as possible.
The regional advanced course was carried out in collaboration with the Ministry of Health of Eritrea, WHO and other partners. In the course, more than 24 experts in the field from 17 countries, mainly from South Sudan, Morocco, Ghana, Burundi, Tanzania, Sudan, Kenya, Cape Verde, Nigeria, Afghanistan, Thailand, Switzerland, Netherlands, the UK, the United Arab Emirates and the US took part.
This conference here in Eritrea is concentrating on pharmacovigilance. That is spotting signals in medicines once they've reached patients in the market where there may be an issue or a problem with the medicine. It's an important conference. Eritrea have shown leadership in organising this conference for the region.
There are around 82 participants from 17 countries. And it is not easy, Eritrea, to arrange such kind of conference or course, as it is the first of its kind in Africa with all the challenges we have. But I think we made it in a best way that everybody can benefit from it. Everybody is really fascinated of the conference and the course we are organizing. Our faculties are world-class speakers. They are among the best speakers in the world, really. So I think we have benefited a lot from this.
The main objective of the advanced course is to strengthen the regulatory system of the countries and to create a way forward for accelerating pharmacovigilance harmonization in Eastern Horn of Africa, while discussing the challenges and opportunities of drug safety-related issues.
Pharmacovigilance is a strange and unattractive word, but if we talk about the patient safety, we're much more likely to understand that the people gathered here from many African countries are concerned to keep patients safe when they're taking their medicines, to make sure that if there are any problems at all, they do have methods of helping patients report them and protect them from anything that might go wrong. And in Africa, pharmacovigilance, the patient safety effort, is quite new, the last 2 decades really. And Africa is very quickly establishing its own systems to protect patients from harm, because all medicines have some risks, and in order that patients should be safe, we have to communicate the risks, tell them about the benefits, and help them and their children to stay safe.
This is a very, very important conference, especially if we can help bring all the countries within the sub-region understanding the concepts of pharmacovigilance and then working together to make sure that they are not exploited by the outside world in terms of substandard, counterfeit drugs, and mainly for even the drugs that are being used for patient care.
The topic really that,
in the opening ceremony conducted at the Asmara Palace Hotel, Dr. Mengus Bairu, founder and chairman of the Emeritus and Serenus Biotherapeutics, said that hosting such advanced courses in Eritrea reflects to what Eritrea has so far gained in the provision of fairly good healthcare service, depending on its local resources.
Being together with academicians and then people who have basically has a lot of experience in this particular area helps countries appreciate how complex the whole issue of pharmacovigilance actually is. And then for most of the countries, they have had just components of it, but now it brings the whole thing, the totality of the whole subject into focus, so that as they move forward, they are all able to develop each of these individual components and then help work them together to achieve that which we want for the countries.
Yes, they have. We have about 10 plus countries represented here, and each one of them have shared their experience in pharmacovigilance, and we've heard from Eritrean experience as well. There's been a lot of good information exchange. What I like about this course is that the course organizers were able to bring their global experts in PV to Eritrea to give us their perspective on risk management practices and perceptions, and I think to that end, a lot of the participants have gained insight into what to do next when they go back to their countries.
You have gathered here in Eritrea some of the world experts on pharmacovigilance, some real experts from the academic world and from the practical and technical world, and you have practitioners here from countries in this region. They are well-versed, well-skilled in this area. They are sharing their best practices, they are sharing the new tools that they're starting to develop, and by sharing that information it will benefit the region as a whole.
I am really impressed, I must tell you. You see, over the years, pharmacovigilance have not been situated in Africa. We had the first countries coming in early 2000, and gradually pharmacovigilance has spread, in the continent of Africa. We've had it in Southern Africa, Northern Africa, Western Africa, East Africa, and it's now coming to the Horn of Africa. And I think this is a very impressive development. So I'm quite happy that Eritrea has really embraced pharmacovigilance. And I must point out that the political goodwill, which I have observed, is most impressive, and I think should be encouraged. The ministers were all there at the opening, and I see the enthusiasm amongst your healthcare personnel. So that's very, very impressive. And from the course, you can see that it's quite a good package, and all the participants, are listening and working with rapt attention, which again is very impressive.
This is my first time in Eritrea, and I have been in contact with the group prior to the conference, and I think everybody is hugely impressed with the work that the Eritrean Pharmacovigilance Centre is doing. A bunch of very committed, intelligent, good people who are keen to help improve the public health of Eritrean people and to protect patients from any risks there might be in medicine of any kind at all. So they're a bright and delightful and amusing bunch of people, and I think the Eritrea should be very proud of the group that they have.
Ladies and gentlemen, the East Africa Advanced Course and Conference on Pharmacovigilance is very timely in its sense that
Ms. Amina Nur Hussein, Eritrea's health minister, said that the participation of internationally prominent experts in their respective domains positively adds to the prestige and value of the gathering. The minister went on to say that the East Africa Advanced Course and Conference on Pharmacovigilance is very timely in the sense that it came at a period when Eritrea is taking the necessary measures to build an effective pharmacovigilance center.
Becoming one of the main health problems in our world.
Eritrea program, despite the fact that it was only established in 2003, and they have, I think, only about 3 functional people who are running the unit. They have achieved so much because they have done all the capacity building that needs to be done in pharmacovigilance, and not only that, even where they have done the capacity building, there is constant reporting of any adverse reactions. And they have the necessary committees established for the investigation of all those reports. And as such, because they are the ones that frequently report all the various events from country to Uppsala Center, which is one of the WHO collaborating centers, it has been termed as one of the best in Africa. So I think it is from that perspective that we think Eritrea is doing very, very well.
The mission of the Eritrean Pharmacovigilance Center is to ensure the safety of everyone in Eritrea in relation to the use of medicines and vaccines. I think to achieve this mission, we are working with the public health program, with healthcare professionals in Eritrea, with media, and also with other development partners to ensure that all medicines in Eritrea are safe and effective.
It is important that we have a very clear view on the safety of drugs once they are on the market. You might think that once we market a drug, we know everything about its safety, but that's not the case. A lot of drugs, a lot of adverse drug reactions are simply being discovered once the drug is already on the market. And that's why we have to know from the people, from pharmacists, from healthcare professionals, if they experience any specific adverse drug reactions, so that we can learn from it. And that in the end we can improve the pharmacotherapy, so we can let people profit from the knowledge we gain by listening clearly to what they actually experienced in the field.
Dr. Josephine Namboze, WHO representative in Eritrea, elaborated that the East African Advanced Course on Pharmacovigilance and Risk Management, which Eritrea is hosting, is highly crucial in tackling and taking immediate action against the distribution of unsafe medicines in the continent.
Once again, I would like to thank our speakers and all of you for taking time to participate in this event. Usually what you see, and if falsified drugs are removed from a country with very strong regulatory authority, they can find their way in countries where there are weak regulatory authorities. Now that's where the different departments of government come in, because health may alert that this is a problem. But Ministry of Internal Affairs, sometimes even engaging Interpol, needs to make sure that this is enforced and the drugs are do not spill to neighboring countries, but they are taken to the source and destroyed from the source, and the right remedial actions taken at source.
Eritrea have a good, strong regulatory agency. That regulatory agency will always need strengthening and support, and the bigger the challenges that are faced in the world of pharmaceuticals, the better resourced that agency needs to be. But the commitment and leadership and organisation and qualifications of those engaged here in Eritrea in the agency are strong. It's recognised not just here in Eritrea or the region, it's also recognised in Geneva.
Dr. Michael Dietz, Medical Safety Surveillance and Monitoring System on Medical Products, WHO, presented a research-based finding related to various ineffective drugs which are causing serious problems in the lives of African people, especially on children. To overcome the problem, developing proactive pharmacovigilance and risk management strategies in Africa is a timely mitigation measure. And it is the opinion shared with the participants of the course.
A balanced, consistent and accurate message is delivered. It is easy to cause panic about medicines. In most cases, the medicines the population take are of good quality. They work, they can be trusted. But unfortunately, we have to be vigilant for those medicines that do reach the market that are unsafe. So the public need to be aware of the safest way to obtain their medicine, how to report any suspicions about a medicine to their regulatory agency, and to do so without fear, because their reports will benefit others and stop harm being caused to patients.
The other aim is also to create a harmonization initiative, or, if there is a problem in Eritrea, it's possible that the problem will be in South Sudan, Sudan, Kenya, or in other countries. So our aim to arrange this pharmacovigilance harmonization conference is, to have to share information, to build capacity between countries, to support each other, and also to arrange or to identify academic institutions who can train healthcare professionals in patient safety or pharmacovigilance, so as to build the capacity and to identify drug-related problems as early as possible.
The way it's being organized, the quality of the faculty that has been brought in makes it quite extraordinary, I would say. It's a really very dynamic, very interesting training that we're having. And I would say it's two-way learning. It's not just faculty teaching, it's a lot of us interacting and learning from each other.
Pharmacovigilance system optimization in East Africa through sharing best medical practices from around the world is what Eritrea has been looking forward to. And the launching of this extensive sharing of views as regards common and unique challenges related drug safety issues is a basic strategy in the efforts being exerted towards development and distribution of safe medicine.
There's a lot to learn, and people are making new friends, new acquaintanceship, and you find that with that, the network is growing. So Eritrea is coming more into the pharmacovigilance network. You can also find that there are a number of people outside. The WHO is well represented, WHO headquarters, WHO UPSALA, that's the UMC, the monitoring center, is here with the top staff. We also have people from the United States, and also have people from all over the world, global representation. So I think it's very interesting, and I'm quite delighted to be invited to this meeting as well, and I've really, appreciated, your enthusiasm.
I really would like to congratulate Her Excellency, the Honorable Minister, for such a very well organized event, and I'm hoping that the participants will appreciate each and every aspect of this, so that when moving forward, we can all move as a block, as a sub-region, to make sure that all the various systems are in place.
Frankly speaking, it was not easy really to organize such kind of course in a few months, but with all the commitments and hard working of the local organizing committee and the scientific organizing committee abroad, we really achieved the course and conference.
I would just like to thank Eritrea and the government of Eritrea for inviting the WHO to this meeting. You know, the fact that they've organised, taken the trouble, attracted world experts and people from this region, this will benefit not just this country, but the region as a whole. So we are grateful for the invitation.